Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha Sitaya Pataye Namaha. We are in Adhyatma Ramayana and in Ayodhyakand. Kand means the section. So we are in the Ayodhya section. First one was the Bal Kand, that was the childhood section. Now we are in the Ayodhya section. Why Ayodhya? Because he is grown up now. And we are in chapter 7. Here it says Canto 7, pata nahi kya kya, sab jagah alag meaning hai. So this is Sumantra's return to Ayodhya, Dashrath's death, King Dasharath's death and cremation, the story of Shravana Kumar and Bharat's arrival in Ayodhya. So these are all the topics that are going to be covered in this chapter. Oh, so many things in one chapter. Shri Mahadeva Uvacha. Remember, Adhyatma Ramayana is a story being told by whom to whom? By Lord Mahadev to Parvati. Why did he ask? Why did he start telling the story? That was too long ago, Swami. Why? He said, I am all such dhach ke tumhare samne khadi hu. I am so beautiful. I am every day dressed up for you and you don't even look at me. Thoda idhar aa jao yaar, meri gardan idhar dard hoti hai. Idhar aa jao samne. Or if you don't mind me not looking at you, then it's okay.
No, I blocks my eyes.
So she says, I dress up every day and come in front of you and you're sitting with your eyes closed. Who is that person who's more dear to you, for whom you keep contemplating all the time? So, Mahadev Uvacha, it is Sri Ram. He is the eternal one. Who is this Sri Ram? And then he starts, the first chapter was Ram Hridayam. He says, I can't tell you who Sri Ram is, but what his wife talked about him when another discussion was going on, then I will tell you. And the story began. And now the Parvati is even more inquisitive. We must be inquisitive not about the world. We must be inquisitive about the story, the pastimes of the Lord. Then our mind also get properly programmed. And the bhakti, the shraddha, the surrender, this gets invoked while we are listening. If Shivji is so dedicated to Sri Ram, and as we are going through, because this particular Adhyatma Ramayana was composed by Maharishi Vedvyas, and he is remembering all this. So story within the story, within the story, within the story, your intellect develops. If you start remembering all the characters, the best way to develop your intellect, buddhi, is study Mahabharata. Learn all the characters, who is the brother of whom, who is the enemy of whom, who is the son of whom. You will get sufficiently confused if you read the first time. But as you keep going through it again and again and again, you will come to know the whole lineage of who belongs to whom. So, and that's memory retention. So in this manner, here he says, Shri Mahadeva Uvacha. So this is also very important. Why only not Mahadeva Uvacha? Why Shri Mahadeva Uvacha? Normally we will say Shri means it's a sign of respect. But technically, spiritually, Shri, without Parvati, Mahadev has got no form. So how can a formless speak? For someone to speak, there has to be a form, isn't it? So it is because of Shri. So Shri Mahadeva Vacha Sumantropi tadayodhyam dinante praviveshaha vastrena mukhamachadya Vashpakulitalochanaha Bahireva ratham sthapya Rajanam dvashtumayayau Jaya Shabdena Rajanam Stutvatam Prananamaha. Lord Shivji said to Parvati, here during dusk twilight hours, Sumantra hid his face with a cloth and entered Ayodhya with tearful eyes. Suddenly he has taken you back to where Sumantra was left behind with Guha, and Ramchandraji vanished, taking the boat early in the morning. So now we are revisiting Sumantra, because when he would have got up, there is no Ram, there is no Sita, there is no Lakshman, there is no Guha, everyone has gone. Where are they gone? Now he can't take his chariot and cross the river. So he returns back. So he is smart. Sumantra. Suman. What is? Very refined mind. And he is the Prime Minister of Dasharath. So he is not an ordinary person. He understands what the signal is coming from Ramchandra. Leave me alone. I am going on my own. I don't want the whole retinue to come with me. So, and then he entered Ayodhya with tearful eyes, because Ram was the dear and the heart of every being in Ayodhya, so also Sumantra. He was the apple of eye of Dasharath, of Kausalya, of Kaikeyi also. Even though she behaved in her, because we saw the reasons why, because of the Saraswati Mata coming and sitting on her tongue, because the gods requested. So she has to do it. So important thing is what? Nobody is to be blamed. Then why is it all this happening? Divine Leela. It is Divine Leela. It is not that Kaikeyi is against Ramchandraji and Kaikeyi is against her own husband. No, it is all happening according to the divine will. And that divine will is happening in this manner because of some curse, because of some Ashirvad. So it is taking place. And if you want to know what was the curse and what was the Ashirvad, then you have to listen to Adbhuta Ramayana. So I have already done about 20-30 lectures on Adbhuta Ramayana. So only when we went to Northeast India, we did Adbhuta Ramayana. We started Adbhuta Ramayana there. So you can listen to that. Those stories you will not find in Tulsi Ramayana. Those stories you will not find in Valmiki Ramayana. Those stories you will not find in Adhyatma Ramayana. Those stories you will not find in Kamba Ramayana also. These are totally different stories. They are the cause of the events. You may understand that Ramchandraji was born for this reason. But what was the reason why Ramchandraji was born? Our popular understanding is Ramchandraji was born because Dasharathji was not getting children. So he asked Rishyashringa. Rishyashringa, who is the son of Vashishta. He came, he did the Havan. Indra, Agni Devata came, brought the payasam. This is what we know. Only this much we know. But we don't know why that Narayana had to take birth as Ram in this particular cycle of creation. What was the cause behind Hariom? What was the cause behind? What were the events which brought about the advent of Narayana to be born as Sri Ram? Why he had to take the help of the monkeys? Why he had to take the help of monkeys to be in this incarnation? So there is a cause. In creation, there is always cause and effect. So either a curse is a cause, there is a blessing is a cause. Just like Kunti, she was not cursed, she was blessed. because she served Durvasa Rishi so much with Shraddha and faith, that Durvasa said, "Go, I give you the Ashirwad." Why did he give her that Ashirwad? Because he's the seer of past, present, future. He knew what was coming in ahead. That the Pandu will be struck with this problem. And he had given her the blessing that you can invoke any god you want and you will get that god will have to give you the child, bear your child. So that was the cause for the birth of the Pandavas, isn't it? So like this, what is the reason behind? All the reasons are not given in, they want you to study a little bit more. Then when you go to Adhyatma, they'll say, oh, something is missing here, oh, you go somewhere else. And that way you keep engaging with the literature so that your mind is ever immersed in the divine name. So here he says, he came back to Ayodhya with tearful eyes. Leaving the chariot standing outside the gates, he went inside the royal palace to meet the king. Bahireva ratham sthapya, Bahireva, leaving it outside, sthapya, leaving it standing there, Rajanam drashtum ayayav, and he went to meet the drashtum, to see the king out of his love for the king. Maya yav, here you have to take it as out of love for him. And then Jaya Shabdena Rajanam Stutvatam Prananamaha. And then there, after going, he said, Dashrath Maharaj ki jai, jaise hum bolte hain, Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai. So in those times it was a done thing that you go and praise the king. May the victory be to the king. Jai Maratha, Jai Shivaji. So वैसे ही Jai Dasharath. And he did namaskars and salutations to the king. Tato Raja Namantam Tam Sumantram Vivuhalo Bravit Sumantra Rama Kutraste Sitaya Lakshmanena Cha Kutra Tyaktastvaya Ramaha किं मां पापीनमब्रवीत् सीता वा लक्ष्मणो वापि निर्दयं मां किमब्रवीत् हा राम हा गुणनिधे हा सीते प्रियवादिने दुःखार्णवे निमग्नं मां म्रियमाणं न पश्यसि. The king saw Sumantra. Here he says, Tato Raja Namantam Tam Sumantram Vivalo Bravit. Tataha Raja Namantam Tam. After having done the prostrations and salutations to the king, Sumantam Vivhalo. Vivhalo means with a disturbed heart and mind, or that heart and mind which is grieving. With that type of disposition, the king, he is asking. What did he say? Sumantra Rama Kutraste Sitaya Lakshmanena Cha. Kutra means where? Sanskrit student? You can recognize the words?
Yes.
So Rama is which case?
First person, third person, singular. Nominative.
Nominative singular. Good. Student pakade gaye. Kutraha again, and Sumantra again is a nominative, accusative. So here he says that, oh Sumantra, where is not Sumantra is not nominative, it is vocative, the last one, the 8th vibhakti. Oh Sumantra, where is Sri Ram along with Sita and Lakshman? Kutra tyaktastvaya Rama, where have you left him? Kim mam papi namabravit, where have you left Sri Ram? What did he have to say for this sinner? Dashrath Maharaj is reeling in guilt because he can't bear. He could not say it with his mouth, go, I send you to forest. The mother Kaikai said it, and Ramchandra ji his apple of the eye, na? Yahi correct hai na? So he left, understanding. He said, "Why you have to trouble my father? You should have just told me." But he is feeling that he and his wife are the cause of the vanvas for Sri Ram, and therefore he considers himself a sinner, and this guilt is going to kill him. So remember one thing in life. What is that?
Never have guilt,
And
regret in life.
so when you have regrets, then you have guilt. This is about the past. So never have regrets, you will have no guilts. Then what do? Forgive and forget and move on. Come to the present moment. Don't carry baggage. Forgive and forget. And what is the other part now? Past is taken care. No guilt, no regret. Forgive and forget. Now what do? It's not only other people. You have to forgive and forget whatever deeds you have done also. But make a commitment not to repeat them again. And what is the other side? Now future is left. So what is the problem with the future? Anxiety. So do not. And how does anxiety come? Expectations. This is a big problem in all families nowadays, with husbands, wives, parents and children and parents. So no expectation. If there is expectation, you are going to, hello, I was missing you. You are all full of makeup, are you? Hi, क्या बात है? So, if we have expectation, it is going to trouble you. If it is, and which expectation is going to trouble you? Is yesterday I did not put the light off before I went to sleep. Is this regret going to trouble you? Is this regret going to trouble you? Oh, I forgot to do my homework. Is this regret going to trouble you? Little bit more than putting off the. He says it's not going to affect me. Bindas, nahi. But if you have done something wrong with someone, you have spoken with a wrong speech to someone whom you respect, or to some elder, then that stays with you, that affects you longer, isn't it? So similarly, where have we invested? In what regret, with what intensity we have invested ourselves? Similarly, in what expectation we have invested ourselves? With what intensity we are having a desire for something in the future, or expectation in the future, will become directly proportional to that. You will experience the anxiety. And yesterday, last week, not this week, but the last week, the topic in Kathopanishad was how to die. What happened? No, what Yamraj is telling Nachiket, what happens at the time of death? And what happens at the time of death? With the last breath, he is saying, with the last breath, your complete balance sheet of your life runs in front of you, and you come to whatever is the plus, minuses, merits, demerits, all the points are calculated, and the last thing is left. Body has died, but the consciousness goes with the unfinished desires which has become, after you have balanced it out, whatever is the last one left, with the most intensity, that will be left. And that stuck with that desire plus all the other lesser ones. But that is the main desire. The soul, if we use that word, soul, consciousness plus desires is equal to soul. So that soul goes and looks for a womb where the desire can be fulfilled. And that desire can be it can lead you to birth in a very good family, in a animal, depends where you are attached, or it can also take you into inert matter, If you are stuck in houses and bricks and plaster boards, you will be a particle in the plaster board in the next life. She was listening, it was there. If you don't believe, go and listen to the not last one, last to last lecture. This is only, this truth, this what we have just explained is true relatively. There, Yamaraj is saying, but those who are conscious of their consciousness, if they are witnessing, they are not affected by what is coming and going in the mind, then over a period of time, the mind, you unclutch from the sukha dukkha sumay kritva labha labho jaya. So everything, even na shochati na kankshati. Na shochati means no regrets, and na kankshati is no expectation. So you become samay kritva. And that is the knack of living life. Not everyone is studying scriptures. So many masters are there who have not studied scriptures. We are benefited to come across scriptures and someone is explaining to us. We also benefited that way. But so many masters are there. Very simple example, Gondavlekar Maharaj. He never studied any scriptures. Kanhopatra, Gora Kumbar, they never, Namdev, they never studied scriptures. But how come they are talking what the scriptures are saying? How come they know what the scriptures know? See? So they came to the same conclusion because they took the name of the Lord, they had utter faith in the divine. Today, our Manoj called in the morning. स्वामी जी, मैं लेटा हुआ था, ध्यान में बैठा था एक्चुअली. तो कहते हैं, मैंने कहा हाँ कौन है? कहते हैं राम लल्ला आ गए. भाव की बात है, राम लल्ला आ गए. He didn't say I got the kid. He says राम लल्ला आ गए स्वामी जी की कृपा से. See, so that bhav, it must be there in every activity. Not only those events which are beneficial, Swami ji's kripa, Bhagwan ki kripa, or bure, if there is an accident and is there a loss, no, Swami ji ki kripa tab bhi honi chahiye. You should be able to see the good and the blessings in that also. So, what did he have to say for this sinner? This, what I have just explained to you, Dashrath Maharaj Ji was divorced from this type of thinking. He was continuously reeling in the guilt of being the cause of sending Ram to the forest. And therefore, he is considering himself a sinner. What message has he given to you for me? What did Sita, ha Ram, Sita va Lakshmana vapi nirdayam mam kim abravit, means what did he say? Kim abravit. Bravit is to speak. Abravit spoke. Whenever you add a in front of a verb, it goes into past tense. What did Sita, ha Ram, ha Gunanidhe, ha Sita Priyavadini, what did Sita and Lakshman said for this cruel me? He is considering himself as the sinner, the cruel person, the worst of the worst kind. See? If we think about like this, for this body, it is good. If we think that this body is absolutely pathetic, birth, growth, disease, decay, death, chhod do. It's good. It will help you to go further. But what is he saying? He is saying, I am the cruel one. So his attention is not on consciousness. His attention is not on the Lord. His attention is on his son. So are these words coming out of contemplation, or are these words coming out of, are these words coming out of surrender, or are these words coming out of attachment and infatuation? Correct. Oh, the soft-spoken Sita, don't you see that I am dying by getting drowned in a sea of grief and sorrow? Dukkharnave nimagnam mam mriyamanam na pashyasi. Can't you see? Pashyasi, see? Na pashyasi, don't see? Don't you see? Who? Me, mom. Don't you see me? That I am drowned in the miseries, drowned in pain. If this, on one, you can look at it on the opposite side also, or the other way, that his, here it is attachment only, but crying is similar. When a devotee cries to the Lord, why have you forsaken me? Why are you not giving me darshan? How long it is going to take? And he cries for the Lord. Tears are coming, horripilations are coming, and he writhes on the floor. Similar, all these things were happening to Dasharath also. But he is a devotee. Will we call him a Dasharath Maharaj a devotee? Don't say yes or no. Why? Because he doesn't, even after Vashishta has already told him that Ramchandra ji is the Lord Narayana himself. This comes in Yoga Vashishta. He has already told him. So maybe, now see, you didn't think about it. Now that he knows, he feels even more worse. That how I can become the cause of the Lord who has graced me with his birth in my family. Now I have become the cause to send him away. He's not looking at the whole picture. He's not looking at, he's going for a purpose. He doesn't know that he's going to be the instrumental in killing Ravan. He's not interested in all those things. But he is interested in, and this is how a devotee is. Devotee is single pointed on the Lord. He doesn't care what story. Initially you listen to the story of the Lord, but when you are single pointedly focused on Ram, 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 Valmiki, Ram, 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 became a Brahma Rishi. He has never met Sri Ram till the previous chapter. Till the previous chapter, last class. In Chitrakoot, he comes across Valmiki in his ashram. How many? Thousands of years have passed. No scripture. But only Ram Nam. See, the Ram Nam Mahima, ya Krishna Nam Mahima, you understand. You cannot blame that the name of the Lord is not helping you. It is your availability which is not there. Swamiji, we took 10 years we have been taking the name of the Lord. 10 years I have been doing his puja. 10 years I have been doing Abhishek. But what has he done for me? That means firstly, you were not available to him. You were not surrendered to him. Or you were doing all that mechanically. For the Lord to show his magic, it does not take 10 years or 1 year or 1 month or 1 week or 1 day or 1 moment also. His grace is ever flowing. He's never that he is missing in action. He's ever present. So it is not that the name of the Lord is not effective. We were not effective in calling out to him. We were not surrendered enough to call out to him. We were not focused in calling out to him. Don't blame him. What is our Modi ji doing right now? 11 days he is on fast. He is only on nariyal pani, on coconut water. See, our scriptures do not discriminate. They say a Shudra is an OBC, lowest of the classes. But by what our scriptures say, once you are born in Shudra, you are not lifelong Shudra. If you are born a Brahmin, you are not lifelong Brahmin. Valmiki was born Brahmin. but lived a life of a Shudra, isn't it? Modi ji is born a OBC, but by karma and by jnana, he is great. He is a sannyasi. He is greater than sannyasi, and he is following. He is doing the purification for 11 days, and now I think last 3 days he is not even going to sleep on the bed. He is going to sleep on the wooden plank, and completely abstain from eating anything before he does pran pratishtha. How can a prime minister do pran pratishtha? Why not? तुम्हारी औकात है क्या करने की? तुम्हारी औकात है? वो शंकराचार्य, पुरी के शंकराचार्य जी बोल रहे हैं, he is Akhandanand ji's Swami Akhandanand ji's disciple, but loose mouth, very somewhere something is chip on his shoulder. Who are you? If you don't understand the scriptures, keep shut. He kept. Other Shankaracharyas did not say anything. He said, okay. In the olden times, the kings used to do the thing. But you should have the confidence. If Modi ji is having the confidence because he is a sannyasi, he has that inner power. With that power, with that conviction, he is going for it. No one in the world can understand, because he goes to America, he goes and during Navaratri and he does not eat and drink anything. No, only fruits and juice. Even at the presidential palace, only fruits. And how can you live? I can, okay. They cannot handle him. It's too much power comes with that. And whenever a good person does anything, there are millions who are against him anyway. So they are there. The point here is that if we are surrendered to the name of the Lord, then the Lord will bless. But if we blame the name of the Lord, we blame the Lord कि तुमने नहीं किया, तुमने ये नहीं किया, तुमने हमारे लिए वो नहीं किया, मतलब तुम क्या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट लेके बैठे थे क्या? वो तो हमेशा ही कर रहे हैं. Will you blame the space that you did not give me accommodation? Hey, you didn't build a house, what can I do to you? I am always available. You build the walls and stay in it. It's always available. विलप्यैवं चिरं राजा निमग्नो दुःखसागरे एवं मन्त्री रुदन्तं तं प्राञ्जलिर्वाक्यमब्रवीत् राम सीता च सौमित्रिः मया नीता रथेन ते शृङ्गवेरपुराभ्यासे गङ्गाकूले व्यवस्थिताः. This way the king lamented and wailed for a long time and submerged himself in an ocean of grief and sorrows. Vilapya, vilap ka word to tumne suna hai, vilap, to cry, to lament. And it is not crying, only little bit crying. It is intense pain, that one. Chiram Raja Nimagno Dukkha Sagare, ocean of grief. Evam Mantri Rudantantam Pranjalir Vakyam Abravit. And Evam Mantri Rudantantam, seeing the king crying in this manner, lamenting in this manner, the minister, who is this minister? Sumantra. He is always there. Sumana. Person who is refined mind is, you must surround yourself with such people. Your secretary should be always Sumantra. Your right hand should be always Sumantra. Your charioteer should be always Sumantra. So that you will get an advice which is best for you, not what you like. The one who says what you like is a sycophant, chamcha. Sumantra is a person who will tell what is for your benefit. Sanjay told Dhritarashtra what was for his benefit, but king did not take it. That's his problem. But he gave the right advice. Krishna gave the right advice to Arjuna, Sumantra. If I'm talking about the etymology of the word Suman. So surround yourself with such people. Befriend such people. Not with such people who can, Acha, Swamiji, today, what time should I leave from home? Acha, अभी सूर्य इस ग्रह में है, थोड़ी देर के बाद निकलना. ये सुमंत्र नहीं हुआ. वो भी ठीक है, कर सकते हैं, बट ज़्यादा उसमें मत फंसो. अभी पोल्स फ्लिप होने वाले हैं, तो कहाँ पे सूर्य होगा, कहाँ पे चंद्र होगा, भगवान ही जानता है. तो seeing the king, the Sumantra folded his hands and said, Rama Sita cha saumitrihi maya nita rathena te. O king, I had taken Sri Ram, Sita and Lakshman on your chariot, and Shringavera Purabhyashe Ganga Kule Vyavasthitaha. They stopped at the banks of the river Ganges near Shringaverpur. So he is giving the commentary of what has happened since he left Ayodhya. And then he continues, Mohena kinchidanitam phalamooladhikam chayata sprishtva hastena sampritya nagrahid visasarjatata vatakshiram samannaya guhena raghunandanaha jata mukutamabadhya mamaha nrupate swayam. The king of Nishad, who is this Nishad? The Guha. Nishad community, Guha, brought some fruits and edible, phalamooladikam chayata, he anitam, and he brought some fruits and roots, and but Sri Ram did not eat them, and then he left. He touched them and left them alone. Sprishtva hastena sampritya. So sprishtva hastena. Sprishtva is to touch. Hastena is hastena. Nominative, accusative, instrumental. We have not done that yet. But hastena, by the hand, one hand. Sprishtva. So by the hand he touched. Sampritya nagrahid visasarjatata, and left them alone. Vatakshiram samanaya guhena raghunandanaha. And after that, Raghunandan Sri Ram asked Guha to bring some milk of the banyan tree. And what did you do with the milk of the banyan tree? He made his jata. So that he doesn't have to comb every day. So what you see, the Naga Babas and other Babas, so long jatas, they happen by themselves. They happen to me also. But when I comb, they break. Otherwise, sometimes overnight I get hair that long, all the way to my knees. Overnight. If I keep protecting it, I can make a jata. Tomorrow you'll say, Arey, Swamiji, how come you are Naga Baba and wearing clothes? Come on, take off clothes. Be only in langot. But I know when Swami Yogananda, I told you the story, I met him in Gangapur, and when he was completed his parayana, I was there. So he saw that there was one hair long, then another, he never used to wipe, he will just leave it alone and it will dry. Then one more came, he put all of them together and धीरे धीरे jata ban gayi puri. Ab jata, from the jata also the hair will keep coming out. So you put the gum so that it remains infection free. That's why they put that sap, to keep it infection free. Otherwise, if you leave it alone, the dust and everything will go in, and then pata chala चूहे बिल्ली सब उसके अंदर घुस आए हुए हैं. And milk of the banyan tree matted his hair to form a crown over his head like a hermit, and then said to me, Jata mukuta mura abadhya mamaha nrupate swayam. So now his crown is not the golden crown, now his crown is the hair with the sap, and he has rolled them up and put it on top of his head. Sumantra bruhi rajanam shokaste stuna matkrute saketadadhita kam saukhyam vipine no bhavishyati maturme vadanam bruhi shokam tyajatu matkrute आश्वासयतु राजानं वृद्धं शोकपरिप्लुतं. Saket, hey Saket, where is Saket? Your name has come. At least for that you come and sit down. Saket. Sumantra bruhi rajanam shokastet stunam atkrute. O Sumantra, tell the king. Ramchandraji is telling Sumantra the night before taking the boat. When the fruits were brought, he didn't eat, and then he matted his hair, and it's okay, he's listening. Don't disturb. Tell the king not to grieve or feel sorry for us. We shall get greater comfort in the forest as compared to Ayodhya. Why is Ramchandraji saying I'll get greater comfort in the forest than in Ayodhya? Think. In other words, I'll get greater forest in the hinterland of Australia than in the cities.
He was confined in the palace. There he is a free bird.
Okay, one answer. He was confined in the palace, and here is a free. Okay, what else?
He can meet lot of saints.
He can meet lot of saints and sages. There in Ayodhya, he can only meet them when they come to the palace. Freedom is not there. Or it is there, but he has already taken the yatra around Ayodhya and met so many, and then he got the Yoga Vashishta as a result of it. What else?
He doesn't want the father to feel guilty about it.
No. We are saying, why is he saying that it is more comfort in the... Acha, you are saying, he's saying that it is more comfortable in the forest than the palace for the father. Okay, that could be one reason. But when you have come to hear Yoga Vashishta, some of you have heard of Swamiji, we have also taken it. But when you have come to some satsangs, Dakshinamurti, after that, you feel free. Inwardly, you feel free. Then, staying in the palace, he'll be lost in administration. He'll be lost in managing the kingdom. He'll be lost in the security of the kingdom. He'll be lost in all the various things that are required for the administration of and the security of the country. But here, there is no kingdom, there is no security, there is no responsibility, and he is free to contemplate on the truth day in and day out without any disturbance. Is it not possible to do it in the kingdom also? Yes, it is. But he is a young boy yet. He is a young boy. Dashrath Maharaj was living in the kingdom, and still he was a Rajarshi, he was a realized master. Ramchandraji is also similar. But when you know that you are free, essentially, but it grows on you. It's not, for some it is immediate, for some it takes time to grow. I am not judging how Ram is. From the story, he is not fighting, or he is not desiring to be in the kingdom or not to be in the kingdom. He is not desiring to be in the forest or not to be in the forest. So, as she is saying, that it could be the words, one possibility, it could be the words to pacify the mind of the father and not feel bad that I sent my son to the forest. He says, I am more comfortable than but father is free to think, how can he be free? There is no bed there, there is no dasis there, there is no this there, there is no chappan bhog there. How can he be comfortable? Parents are free to think. This is what is happening in today's society. Parents say, we are building portfolio for our children, and the children grow up and they say, we don't want anything what you did. But I worked so hard to build, to make 2-3 houses and keep so much money. You keep it. I don't want. We have one girl we used to live in our house. She is multi-millionaire. Like we have Mirwak here. who buys such a huge land and the entire suburb is set up. Her father is like that in Maharashtra. And she came and she says, I at home only business, business, business. I don't want that. I want to live a normal life. She came and lived a normal life. She can easily get the money from there, buy a house. No, I'll work hard and I'll get the house. Bought her first house. See, she's still one of the trustees, but she doesn't take anything from there. But nothing can happen there till she doesn't sign. Now Modi is there in her town right now. Tulza Bhavani. So she's gone there to that place along with her brother. But her brother is in India. So, what did he say? Saketadhikam saukhyam vipineno bhavishyati. We shall get greater comfort in the forest as compared to. So, Saket is what? The abode. Saket is the place where Ramchandraji stays. That is his dham. So, that is the dham. He says, as compared to Ayodhya, this place, Saket, is more comfortable. Maturme vandanam bruhi shokam tyajatu matkrute. Say our pranams and salutations to our mother, and also ask her to stop worrying and feeling sorrow for grief for us. We are happy. They are really happy. Parents can never understand. They will cry. But they want to put the guilt on the children. Here, they are not putting guilt on the children, they are feeling guilty. And the children's job is not to make them feel guilty. And that's what the words are showing. And then he says, Ashwas, what do you call, क्या बोलेंगे उसको? आश्वासन को क्या बोलते हैं? Not promise. Assurance. Ashvasayatu rajanam vruddham shoka pariplutam. So he says, the king, give my assurance to the king that there is nothing to worry. We are absolutely well and healthy and happy with where we are at this moment. And don't be overwhelmed by anguish and grief. Sita Chashru Paritakshi Mamaha Nrupasattama Dukha Gadgadaya Vacha Ramam Kinchidavekshati Sashtangam Pranipatam Me Bruhi Shravo Padambuje Iti Prarudati Sita Gata Kinchidavang Mukhi Tataste Shru Paritaksha Navamaruruhustada Yavad Gangam Samuttirya Gatastavadaham Sthitaha. Oh, the best among kings. After that, Sita kept glancing at Sri Ram and said to me with tearful eyes and a voice choked with sorrow. And what did she say? She said, see, the Dukkha Gadgadaya means your heart is so overpowered with pain that the words are not coming out. You are sobbing away. And with that, she looked at Ram and spoke to me, meaning she didn't want to say anything without his permission. This is an unspoken understanding when those two realized masters come together. Sita is also realized, Ramchandraji is also realized. अगर अपने घर में क्या होता है, तू मैं अरे मैंने ऐसे बोला नहीं, काली ये दीवार चाहिए नहीं, मेरे को किचन वहाँ चाहिए नहीं, मेरे को ये डाइनिंग टेबल इधर चाहिए. In this only we are lost. But here, merely by a sideward glance towards Ram, he must have told her. She didn't even have to say anything. The look will say everything. And she spoke. Not that she needs permission from him. It's etiquette that you keep your beloved in the loop. And what does she say? Tell my due respects. Sashtangam pranipatam me. Ladies never do Sashtang Namaskar. they don't lie flat on the ground and do namaskar. But she's saying sashtangam pranipatam me. Te give my sashtang namaskar to my to my in-laws, and saying that is not only the Sharatha but also the other three mothers. And saying this, she lowered her head and went away from there weeping. Because she wants to serve also. We can only imagine this. See, she is also come into the family. 1 year has passed. 1 year has passed.
12 years.
12 years is it?
12.
12 years has passed.
12 years they lived a happily married life.
Then they came out. Okay, 12 years has passed, and now attachment grows. सबको सास को वो माई बोलती होगी, पिताजी बोलती होगी, बोलते बोलते अब उसको दुख हो रहा है. Because ladies are like that. आदमी are without heart. रामचंद्र कहता है tell them not to, but she is crying. रामचंद्र जी is not crying. बीच में आया था that they after 12 years of their happily married life, then this Rajyabhishek was going to take place. Crowning of a ceremony was going to take place. Then saying this, then all of them Yavad Ganga Samuttirya Gataha Tavad Aham Stitaha. And before that, Nava Marud Hutas Tada. Then they got into the boat and went their way across the Ganga, and I stood there till they had crossed the river. So Sumantra was there when they crossed the river. Sumantra was not sleeping when they left. He was there. Tato dukkhe mahata punarevahamagataha tato rudanti kausalya rajanam idam abravit kaikeyyai priyabharyayai prasanno dattavan varam tvam rajyam dehi tasyaiva matputrah kim vivasitaha krutva tvamev tatsarvam idanim kim nurodhishi kausalya vachanam shrutva kshatet spashta ivagnina. Then I started back from there, and having reached here with great anguish, a heavy heart, and with great difficulty, Kaushalya said to the great difficulty. So Sumantra's commentary has stopped. He says after that, when I said them goodbye, or I stood there watching them crossing the river. When they went out of my vision, then with a heavy heart, I came back, and now I am telling you the story. Then Kaushalya said to the king weeping. Now Kaikeyi is not around because the king has said, get away from my sight, only keeping Kaushalya next to him. So Kaushalya said to the king weeping, O king, even if you had been pleased with your beloved Kaikeyi and gave her the boon of giving her son Bharat the kingdom, but say, why did you give exile to my son? Now she's asking. She doesn't know the reason why it has happened that way. He's the king. He could have said, no, I will not allow. So now that next story this will lead to the next story of Shravan Kumar. And why did you give exile to my son? She's not understanding why these events are taking place. She's not understanding why her son has to go to the forest. You give him the kingdom. Ramchandra also said, give Bharat the kingdom, I don't want it. Then if all that is agreed, then why Ramchandraji has to go to the forest for 14 years? So hearing and after doing all this mischief yourself, why do you cry? She said, you only gave the boon. You only have given consent without speaking, but you have given the consent to Ramchandraji to go to the forest, and now you are overwhelmed with grief and lamenting and crying. Why? So she's asking him, why? After doing all this, why are you crying? Hearing these words, hearing these sarcastic and taunting words of Kaushalya, the king was tormented beyond redemption, as if live fire had touched a raw wound. Suddenly he remembered why these events are taking place. Understand, as you sow, so you reap. this the way the world functions, there are no mistakes. Every karma that you do, every thought that you have will have a repercussion. There is a wave going out and it will come back. If it is good, good will come back. If it is bad, bad will come back. If you kill, you will get killed. Simple. If you don't feed someone who is in need, you will also come to a point, come in this life or next life, you will come to a point where you are in need of food and you will not get food. Tit for tat. There is perfect balance in this creation. Perfect balance. And King Dasharatha, when spoken, Krutva tameva tat sarvam idanim kim nurodishi Kausalya vachanam shrutva kshate spashta evagnina. Her words touched him and invoked the pain which was like fire within his heart, and he remembered the earlier events in his life which brought about this condition that he is in. Because there the parents were crying. We'll see now the story. I don't want to spill the beans. Now he is going to answer Kausalya as to her pointing finger. Why did you send my son to the forest? Punah shokashru purnakshaha kausalyamidam abravit dukkhena priyamanam mam kim punardakha yasyalam idanim eva me prana utkramisyanti nishchayah shaptoham balya bhavena kena chinmunina pura. The king then replied to Kausalya with tearful eyes, I am already dying, extremely tormented and tortured due to anguish and grief. Why do you torment me by these questions? And pour scorn at me, as if blaming me that I have sent my son away. I have not sent him away. But how can wife understand? If wife could understand, she'll be Sita. This is Kausalya, her normal life. She cannot understand the actions of the husband. See, very rare where the complete integration between husband and wife is there. Complete synchronization. See, for that surrender is required from both. Here, where is the surrender? Atmatvena. Ram is he is a realized person. Sita is a realized person, and both understand the self in me is self in you and self in you is self in me. So sometimes nothing is required to be said and everything is understood. So here Dasharatha Maharaj is saying, why do you say these pointed words to me and putting blame on me as if I am the cause of sending Ram, and there is no doubt that my life is about to leave this body. Idanim eva me prana utkramisyanti nishchaya. Nishchaya, for sure. What is going to happen? Prana utkramisyanti. The pranas are going to rise up and leave this body. He's not saying I'm going to die. He's saying the prana is going to leave the body. This language we should also have. Not Ajada, I'm going to die one day. You cannot die. If you call death as a principle, then it is common for all. But if you take death in it, if you dive deep into it, there is nothing called death. And if you take it subjectively, death is absolutely not possible. Whether as the consciousness, death is not possible. Whether as jiva or soul, death is not possible. Whether as body, also death is not possible, because body only becomes unmanifest and goes back to the 5 elements only to come together and form another body. So no, where is the death then? Is the breathing stopping and the consciousness not expressing through the body, that we call death? That is only imagination in our head. Get out of this. So there is no doubt that my life is about to leave this body. I am just about to die. And now he says, he gives a valid, what you call justification. Now he remembers, because we saw that in the previous verse. Shaptoham balya bhavena kena chinmunina pura. Pura, in an earlier time, a sage had cursed me due to my own foolishness and misdemeanors, because of my wrong action. He had cursed me. पुराहम यौवने द्रुप्तः चापबाणधरो निशि अचरं मृगयासक्तो नद्यास्तीरे महावने तत्रार्धरात्रसमये मुनिकश्चित्तृषार्दितः पिपासार्दितयो पित्रोः जलमाने तु मुद्यतः अपूरयज्जले कुम्भं तदा शब्दो भवन्महान्. Dasharatha started remembering the past events of his life when he was a young boy, and Dasharatha narrated an old incident to Kaushalya. Once, being wild due to youthful arrogance, in youth this is what happens. We commit some mistakes, we speak some things which come to haunt us when we are grown up. Many times it happens. So, before they come to haunt, forgive and forgive yourself. If other people's words are coming and haunting you, forgive and forget them too. But forgiving and forgetting them, forgetting and forgiving them will happen when you have forgotten and forgiven your deeds and the wrongs that may have happened. Put it in this category that no further I am going to lament about them. See? And they come and trouble us only when we are at our weakest, not when we are strong. When everything is going fine, great. No, they will not trouble you because you are distracted by all the opportunity and happiness. But when you are at your lowest, they will come and catch you. So here he says, I was wandering near the banks of a river near a dense forest in the night, and with a bow and arrow in hand, looking for a game to hunt. So in those days, in the kingly times, they used to hunt. Is it that they were anti-animal? They were not animal lovers? Not for that reason. Because all the kingdoms in the past, they were always trying to expand their boundaries. Outside the palace walls, there were villages, there were farms, there were fields, and the people used to continue to expand further because population is increasing, more land is required, and those places which are unprotected, the wild animals used to come and destroy the fields, or take away the children, or kill a wayfarer that time. So the kings, they used, or the kshatriyas, they used to go hunting and they used to reduce. This was a natural way of balancing the wildlife in comparison to the human settlements. So in those times he went, and in the night he went and he was looking for something to hunt. At around midnight, some hermit had dipped his pot. Pipasarditayo pitroho jalamane tu mudyataha apurayajjale kumbham tada shabdo bhavan mahan. So here Dasharatha Maharaj is saying, at midnight, some hermit, someone. Now he is saying this from memory. When he is standing there looking to shoot some animal, that time he doesn't know there is a hermit. All he hears is, here is saying, some hermit had dipped his pot in the water, and when you dip the pot into the water, what is the sound? It fills up. So he thought an animal is drinking water. And to quench the thirst of his, and this hermit had dipped the kamandalu in the water, in the lake, to fill up, to take the water to his parents some distance away, to quench their thirst. And the pot made that gurgling sound of water while water was filling into it. Gajah pibati paniyam iti matva mahanishi banam dhanushi sandhaya shabdavedhine makshinapam Ha hatosmiti tatrabhut shabdo manusha suchakaha kasyapi na kruto dosho maya kena hato vidhe. Thinking that some elephant was drinking water in that dark night, I mounted an arrow which could home into the origin of the sound and shot. This is called Shabda Bhedi Baan. Sometimes the words of some people, they come and stick in our mind and we are unable to shake them off. Like a curse. When Kunti cursed Krishna, when her entire brood of children had been killed after the Duryodhana's death, when Krishna came and touched her feet, who is it? Krishna. And in that moment, she said, the moment he got up, she cursed him. You are the cause of the entire destruction of my progeny, everyone I love. You also will become the cause. Just like my whole family has died, your entire Yadava clan is going to die before you die. And she cursed. Then Krishna got up and told her why he did it. And when she heard, she says, I'm sorry, I should not have done that. He says, now I can't. I take it as a blessing. And it is right that you cursed me, because if I go away and this whole Yadava clan is left behind, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Akhilesh Yadav, all Rakshasas. So all these Yadavas are Rakshasas nowadays because too powerful. So they will destroy this country, this land, because it's an undefeatable Yadava army. It was called the Narayani Sena. So he says, thank you for blessing me that way. I was thinking what I should do before I go to neutralize them. Thank you for the boon. I take it as a boon, not as a curse. No attachment. So here, Dasharath had the power of Shabda Vedivan. In his young age, he has developed the acumen, the training, that he can hear the sound and he can shoot the arrow, and the arrow hones into the point of sound and hits the target. Nowadays, you've got the missiles which hit the target bullseye, all the radar and everything. So it's similar. Now all those things which were happening by thought, that ability was between these 2 years, now it is all coming out in the world physically. Kali Yuga is a world where all those powers are expressing physically. So he says, when the arrow Ha hatosmiti tatrabhut shabdo manusha suchakaha. When the arrow struck, there was a human voice claiming, oh, I'm dying, help. No, oh Creator, I had not harmed anyone in any way. Then why has someone killed me? Kasyapi na kruto dosho maya kena hito vidhe. Vidhe means the Lord. Why has life brought me this death when I have not killed anyone? That I am mercilessly killed like this when I am taking water for my parents? Pratikshate mam mata cha pita cha jalakankshaya tat shrutva bhayasantrastaha tatoham paurusham vachaha shanair gatva tat parshvam swamin dasharadhosmyaham ajanata maya viddhaha Tratomarhasi mam pune. Alas, my mother and father are waiting for me, expecting water to drink. That is, his name is Shravan Kumar. This hermit's name is Shravan Kumar. Till now, Dasharath did not know it was a human being filling up water. He was thinking he heard the gurgling sound, he thought it is an elephant. He shot the arrow. But the cry that came was not that of a dying elephant, it was of a human being. Oh, why I am being killed when I have not done any wrong to anyone? Dashrath must have run there. And while he's there, he's hearing this dying man in the darkness crying away that my father and mother are waiting and expecting for me to bring the water. Hearing this human voice, Dashratha says, I was greatly perturbed and scared that I have committed a horrible sin. What is this? Brahmana Hatya. And killing any person is a sin anyway, but to kill a cow is a great sin. And to kill a Brahmin. Who is a Brahmin? Who lives his knowledge in action. He is a Brahmin. See? And what is his knowledge? Here, Shravan Kumar, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. This is his knowledge. These are words from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Then comes Atithi Devo Bhava, no, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava. So this is the growth. First, you are taking, making your commitment and serving the mother, then the father, then the guru. Because at 7-8 years old, you go to the guru. Then guru becomes your father and mother. And what does guru teach you? Atithi Devo Bhava. That every person that comes into your life is divine. So first you see divinity, Deva is divinity, divinity in your mother by service, so you serve her. Then you see divinity in your father, you serve him. Then they send you away, you go, you see you by surrender and practice and studies of scriptures and under the tutelage of the Guru Maharaj, what does he teach you? He teaches you how to transform the vision by his words. And what is the vision that he comes to? That everyone, everything in my life is nothing but the divine. This expansion must happen. But anyway, Shravan Kumar, he may be in other ones also, but at this moment his responsibility is with Daddy and Mum, because they are not having their eyes. Here the story doesn't say that, but he was taking them to the Char Dham Yatra, he was taking them to Badrinath. So he says, then having, so he was scared that I have killed a Brahmin boy, and this Brahmin, anyone, you have to do a lot of repentance if you have done that. It is not that easy that you kill an educated fellow, a Brahmin fellow, a dedicated fellow, a sinless fellow who is living for the truth, and for him truth is Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. You have heard another story of Satyavati. She said Pati Devo Bhava. And Yamraj, she defeated Yamraj, isn't it? So that was her duty. So Dasharath Maharaj is afraid that what have I done? And in that guilt, in that as a repentance for his actions, he quickly went to him on the side and said, "Oh Lord," he's not saying, "Oh boy," or this, because he's also young age. Dasharath is also a young boy. So he says, "Oh Lord," because he's a Brahmin, "I am Dasharath. I have shot this arrow by inadvertently." Inadvertently means there are three things. How does tamas express? Alasya, Nidra, Pramad. Alasya is laziness or procrastination. Nidra is sleep. And Pramad is repeating the same mistake again and again, meaning living at default level. Default level means you are not thinking. Getting up in the morning, going to the toilet, shushu kar liya, then without thinking, picking up the brush, you don't know, things fall, but the brush comes in hand, put that without awareness, putting the toothpaste, eyes are closed, I have to go to school, I don't want to. Why they always send me, I have to get up in the morning. This is inadvertence we are talking about. Every day same thing is going on. Every day same thing is going on. Like if you make some sambar and put by mistake you put less sugar, why? No, not less sugar, less salt. Why? Because you know I am coming and there is less, I got blood pressure. And by default the answer question, why did you put less salt in this? Next day someone else comes, you know they also have blood pressure. Again you will put less salt. Again he will say, why did you put less sugar? He's not listening what is going on around. He's only interested in his tongue. Default setting. Instead of thinking out of the box that there must be some other reason, let's find out. Rather than just, why did you put, how can you blame someone just like that? First find out. Default setting is where no thinking is required. Instinctively you behave that way because you have programmed yourself that way. So here, and how has Dashrath programmed himself? Whatever sound he hears, he shoots the arrow, it will go and hit the target. So, he says, I have shot this arrow inadvertently, O sage, please save me, excuse me for my folly. He said, because he knows he has killed a Brahmin fellow. He has killed a fellow Brahmin boy who was taking water to his elderly parents. He is afraid now about what the repercussion of this act will be. Is this young boy going to curse him? Because Brahmana's curse, it will fructify. So is he going to, before he can say anything, he says, it is my folly, please excuse me, please excuse me. When you know if you have done a mistake and one slap is coming, mummy, 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 I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So mummy's hand is there, it goes there, before it reaches its target, it comes back. Same way. So, ityuktva padayostasya patito gadgadaksharaha tada mamaha samunirma bhaishirnupasattama brahma hatya sprushena tvam vaishyoham tapasi sthitaha pitarau mam pratikshete kshutrubhyam paripiditau. Saying this, I fell down at his feet with a choked voice. Ityukta padayostasya patito gadgadakshara. With a overwhelmed heart and words not coming out of my mouth, I fell at the feet of this young boy. Tada mamaha munirma bhaishir nrupasattama. And then that hermit, that young boy told me, oh, the exalted king, don't be afraid. I will not go to hell. I will not become Brahma Rakshas. So don't be afraid. So straight away that young boy has pardoned the king. That don't be afraid. He says, you shall not be tormented by the sin of killing a Brahmin because I am Vaishya by birth. So till now we are saying it was a Brahmin. He says, I am a Vaishya, I am not a Brahmin. So who is a Vaishya? Who is interested only in produce. He wants to increase his wealth. So by birth, so he is putting the mind of Dashrath Maharaj that you have not killed a Brahmin. So don't be afraid. And Vaishya by birth, who am engaged in austerities and penance. But even though I am born in a Vaishya Kul, Vaishya Jati, but I am continuously involved in tapasya. My mother and father must be waiting for me anxiously because of their hunger and thirst. Now he tells, before he breathes his last, he is telling the king that I got my parents for whom I am taking the water. They are hungry and thirsty. So, continuing the story, तयोस्त्वमुदकं देहि शीघ्रमेवा विचारयन् न चेत्त्वां भस्मसात् कुर्यात् पिता मे यदि कुप्यति जलं दत्त्वा तु तौ नत्वा कृतं सर्वं निवेदय शल्यमुद्धर मे देहात् प्राणास्त्यक्ष्यामि पीडितः. Therefore you should make haste and go give them the water, because otherwise if my father gets angry, he will reduce you to ashes, because he is even a greater tapasvi. So it is not that Vaishyas cannot. King Janaka was a tapasvi, he became a Brahma Rishi, no? So we have Kora Kumbhar, he was a potter, he became a great devotee, he a realized person. See? So tapasya can make you go beyond. The Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra is only at the relative level. We need to go beyond that. And this will not happen if you keep saying, what is my Gotra, what is my Rishi, what is this, what is that, usme phase rahoge, which is the planet today, that. No end to that. The more we talk about these things, the more we are concretizing ourselves as the ego. Understand this. As the jiva, as the individuality is getting concretized, the more you think about your body or protect your body and your environment by thinking about the what do you call this, astrology and all that. Don't think it is healthy. You are doing that only because you think your body is real. You are not you are not. If you trusted God, if you had faith in God, if we have faith in God, will we trust God more or will trust the planets more? Look at any story. Look at Hanumanji's, look at this Lord Sun story. Look at Prahlada's story. How many problems came in his life? But look at Indra's story. Look at Ahalya's story. Look at Nahusha's story. So they made mistakes, they repented for it, but eventually their dedication to the divine got them out of the trouble. Whatever time it took. Isn't it? Prahlad, you know very well. His father himself was a Rakshasa. He was also from the Asura Kul, but devoted to the Lord. So are we devoted to the planets or are we devoted to the Lord who is expressing through the planets? If you go dedicate yourself to the planets, only that planetary power will bless you. If you are dedicated to the Lord who is in and through everything in this universe, then the infinite power is blessing you. So common sense tells you what? Go after the total, not the small one. See? With this understanding, we will not disrespect the planets. We will not disrespect the society because we are product of the society. We will not disrespect the country or the city or the people around us. But our attention is on something higher while living in this body. This knack we must develop. Devotee develops this knack. Then it does not matter you are Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So he says that therefore you should make haste and go and give them water, because otherwise if my father gets angry, he will reduce to ashes. Just like our, what is her name? Gandhari. Before I use the word Gandhari?
No, you said Kunti.
Kunti, not Kunti, but Gandhari. हाँ, nobody corrected. अभी गांधारी आया, मैंने कहा पहले तो गांधारी बोलना था, वो कौन सा वर्ड आया था? कुंती आया था, नहीं, गांधारी. So like Gandhari, she had by choice done the tapasya of covering her eyes when she came to know she is getting married to a blind king. And when she opened her eyes, what did she do throughout her life? She was a devotee of Mahadev, and that was her dedication. If my husband cannot see, I will not see. Right or wrong, we are not talking about it. Because if she had not kept the cloth on her eyes, at least she could have corrected the actions of her blind king husband. She did not. But even we are not going into that right and wrong. The mere fact that so many years she had kept her eyes, even though she could see, she kept herself from having any vision of anything. In the last moment, she opened her eyes and she told Duryodhana, come with no clothes and I'll make, if my eyes, I am Mahadev Bhakta, if my eyes fall on you, your body will become that of Vajra. But Krishna has to be in the right place at the right time, in the right words, in the right circumstances. And and Duryodhana is wearing a towel and going to the mom's apartment, and Krishna comes. What happened to you, Duryodhan? Are you feeling like you're just born, going around naked in this palace? No, Krishna, I'm going to my mother. She told me, spills all the beans. She told me that if I come, he was going naked. So if I come in front of her, and when her vision falls on me, my body will become that of Vajra.
No, he didn't know.
Who? Krishna knows everything.
No, Krishna knows, but Duryodhan didn't know.
तो I am adding to that. तो वो कहता है अच्छा ऐसे होता है, but it is not right. Even if you are a child of your mother, you should not go in front of your mother in the form that you were born. You are a grown-up boy now. You cannot go like that. And he put doubt into the mind of Duryodhana. And Duryodhana says, what? When Krishna speaks so sweetly, so convincingly, anyone will agree. So he says, yeah, what he's saying is correct. So he wears a towel and goes inside. And mummy opens the eyes, the whole body becomes Vajra. But his jang, his hips and this upper thigh, it remains untouched by the power of her vision. And that is where, what is the vow of Bhim? That I will break this leg on which you were asking Draupadi to sit. देखो उसने भीम ने वहां पे he took the vow, I am going to break your thighs. So something has to happen. Bhim is also a very emotional and intense person. He is a pure person, not doing bad to anyone. All Pandavas were good. They were sattvic. So his vow, how can it go waste? So his vow, see the link. His vow brought the nature to bring Krishna in the place, so that he put a doubt in the mind of Duryodhana, so that the thigh remained untouched by the vision of Gandhari. So इसी तरह से in Adbhut Ramayana, how Sita was born, why Sita came into this creation, why Ramchandraji came into this creation, what were the events before. Because the cycle of creation is continuously. Chaturyuga cycles are going on. In every yuga there is Krishna, Rama, the way 10 avatars are coming. So if Valmiki met Ramchandraji in this Ramayana, but he has been doing tapasya for many thousands and thousands of years. So here he says that he will reduce you to the ashes. After giving him water and bowing before him, tell him about your misdeed. So the young boy, he is so forgiving that he is telling this young youth called Dasharatha a way out of getting cursed to death. Are we like that towards other people? Are we like that towards other people, or are we vindictive? You did it, I'll show you, I'll do it 10 times more. You didn't even, I asked you so nicely to share your book with me, and you said no. Now you see what I'd give. I will not share any book with you. Vindictiveness. Is this how this young boy is? Good person is never vindictive. What is he? Forgetting and forgiving. We have to continue to be a good person in life. Because someone is bad, because someone is resentful, because someone is hateful, because someone dislikes us, we don't have to come down to their level. We keep our level high. We live for the higher. We don't live for that person. We live for the higher. We live for the divine in our heart. And who is that divine? Divine is the he or she who is everywhere. So we have to cultivate those qualities which make us grow further, not concretize us into these negative traits. So he says that after giving him water and bowing before him, tell him about your misdeeds. I am under immense pain. Remove this arrow which is struck in my body, for I wish to die soon. So we just quickly will conclude the story, if it is concluding, I don't know. So he says that you, in this manner, you go to my parents, to my father. Don't go in any other way. And tell the truth. Don't try to beat around the bush. He's told him. Otherwise, we don't know how to tell what has actually happened. Dashrath might keep may not speak those words. So he's saying, no, go and tell him the truth, that this is what has happened. And it is a mistake. So, and he says, take the arrow out of my body because it is giving me pain, because I wish to die soon, because he knows death is coming. How he knows? You will also come to know when it happens. Everyone comes to know. Some people come to know 1 minute before, some people come to know 1 second before, some people come to know many years before, some months before. इत्युक्तो मुनिना शीघ्रं बाणमुत्पाट्य देहतः सजलं कलशं धृत्वा गतोऽहं यत्र दम्पती अतिवृद्धावन्धदृशौ क्षुत्पिपासार्दितौ निशि नायाति सलिलं गृह्य putra kim vatra karanam. When the hermit said so, I extracted the arrow from his body, immediately took the pot of water and went hastily to the place where his parents were waiting for him. At that moment, they were agitated and anxious with worries. We are very old, handicapped by our vision. We are blind and greatly distressed due to hunger and thirst. What is the reason that our son has not come back with the water during the night till now? So both of them, how Shravan Kumar used to take his parents, he had that big bamboo and he has got 2 baskets. And in one basket, the father used to be there, and in the back basket, the mother used to be there. And this is how he used to carry his father and mother to all the kshetras in India. That was his tapasya. And he will go, and wherever he stops, he'll go find some fruits, bring it to his parents, and then again just keep moving and take them to the various pilgrimage places. So they are thinking, where has our son gone? We were thirsty. He went to bring water. He has not brought. Doesn't he know that we are thirsty and we are old and we are anxious? We can't live without him, because when you are blind and you are dependent on your son, they also have attachment for their son because he's taking them to all the pilgrimages. He's such a dutiful son. So they are anxious that why our son has not come back, and they are talking between each other. At that time, Ananya gatikau vruddhau shochau tat paripiditau avamupekshate kim va bhakti manavayo sutah iti chinta vyakulau tau mat padanyasajam dhvanim shutva praha pita putra kim vilamba krutastvaya. We have no other support for help. We are old, in a pitiable state and greatly tormented by extreme thirst. What is the reason that our devoted son has been negligent towards us? छोड़ते नहीं हैं. Demand. This happens in such families. This will not happen in Brahmin family. This will happen in Vaishya family. Self-centeredness is a little bit there. Money-centeredness is there. Or I am using these words, I should not blame any community for that matter, but you will see in the Vaishya community, the family, togetherness of the family is a lot. Big families together. In the olden times, why it used to be there? because the farms had to be tilled. The more the children, the more uncles, aunties, everyone living together, everyone doing things together. Sometimes one family used to be one village. Huh? But not nowadays. So what is the reason that our beloved son has been negligent towards us? Just at that instant, the sound of my footsteps, the father asked, "Oh son, why are you so late today?" So when King Dasharatha, the Prince Dasharatha, he is quietly tiptoeing to where there's no hut, they are in the basket. He tiptoes, so the crumbling of the rocks under his feet, and they hear the sound. And they say, "Son, why are you so late?" And he says, how far is it? I think we'll stop here. We have to start from 34th verse, because this यहाँ पे ठीक है. Then what happens between Dasharatha and father and mother of Shravan Kumar, that whole dialogue, we will get into it in our next class. So many things to learn just from the characters here. Let's imbibe those qualities in the positive way in our life. These stories are not just, if you enjoy the stories, these qualities automatically will come. But if you are aware of these qualities, now that we are grown up, so do the right thing. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a moment.